Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we go to Las Vegas in both the Xfinity Series and in the Cup Series. There, as you see the playoff grid briefly on your screen, we currently sit outside of the playoff grid. Obviously the big one at Daytona put us in a hole, but we can certainly easily work our way into the playoffs with a good run today here in Las Vegas. And we had Noah Gragson back in the car for Las Vegas for us in this episode. He started in the 6th position. We won this race last season with Eric Jones, so I was pretty confident that we would be able to repeat that and win again. And Gragson, he certainly was showing some speed in this race, because as he came to about the midway point of this race, he had started making moves up for the lead, even as he made it 3 wide on the outside of the 9 and the 21 coming out of turn 4 side by side with Daniel Hemrick. He would come through to take the lead and he wouldn't look back as Gragson would drive away, now coming through turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in Las Vegas. Gragson looking for Xfinity win number 1, and as he comes out of turn 4 through the tri-oval, that would happen as Noah Gragson wins in Las Vegas. So obviously a great effort from Noah here in the Xfinity car, so he can certainly be a top contender already for maybe a playoff driver once we have to make that decision, as we are now obviously locked into the playoffs, second in the points with our car right now, so that's good, and hopefully we can build up a little bit more momentum off of that and have some even better runs here in the future races. But now it's time to set our sights on the Cup Series race here in Las Vegas. We usually run pretty good at Vegas, so hopefully we don't run into trouble now as we come through into qualifying, coming through turns 3 and turns 4. It didn't feel like an amazing lap, but it certainly felt all right now as we come out of turn 4, heading down through the tri-oval. It's going to be pretty decent now as we cross the line in 9th place with a 30.7 as our AI dies across the line, but hopefully we can work our way forwards and have a chance to win here in Las Vegas.
Today, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series makes its first stop in Las Vegas for the running of the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube. Vegas has grown so much in popularity that NASCAR doubled down and added a second race in 2018. Today, the field is stacked with NASCAR drivers seeking to get on a roll. In 2017, eventual Cup champion Martin Truex Jr. picked up his first win of the year here, also becoming the first driver ever to win all 3 stages in a single race. Will he hit the trifecta again today? Let's head on down to the track. We're just about ready to get underway on PRN.
All right, we're ready to go green here for the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas. Kurt Busch on the pole. They're looking really fast today with Truex there on the outside front row as we're ready to get going here in Las Vegas from the 9th starting position. Kyle Larson, Joey Logano on the road just in front of us now as Kurt Busch will lead the way as the green flag drops, and we are underway here in Las Vegas for the first of 2 Las Vegas races this season here behind the 22 of Joey Logano as we head down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Kurt Busch trying to get clear of Truex as quickly as possible, and he is clear now of the 19 car of Martin Truex Jr. Keselowski's going to follow through to take over that second position as we're already making moves going 3 wide down the back straightaway with Joey Logano as we head down towards turns 3 and turns 4, trying to make up as much ground as possible obviously on this initial start in the race as we come out of turn 4, still side by side with the 22 of Logano as we come through the tri-oval to complete the first lap here in Las Vegas, moving into the 6th position after starting down in 9th as we hit 18 to go in this first stage. And as you see here, I just decide, okay, it's time to jump up to the top and see exactly what I can do. And as we come out of turn 2, we get a lot of momentum and look to the inside of the 19 of our former teammate of Martin Truex Jr. closing in on the back of Ryan Blaney, looking to his inside as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4 as we have to check up there just a little bit as Blaney cut down right in front of me, and he would be able to work his way forward to the lead as we came through on lap 12 now. I had passed Kyle Busch and moved into P4, looking to the inside of Brad Keselowski as we came out of turn 4, heading down the front straightaway now through the tri-oval, crossing the line now, lap 13 of 19 in this first stage as we are still side by side with the 2 of Keselowski coming through turns 1 and turns 2. Kurt Busch just ahead, the pole sitter now as we continue to battle alongside Brad Keselowski as Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick lurk behind as we head down towards turn 3. Blaney trying to get an early stage win and maybe get a playoff point as we come through turns 1 and turns 2. We would get to the inside of Kurt Busch and we would be able to pass him. He would be able to put up a little bit of a fight, though, down the front straightaway as we crossed the line to hit 6 to go. But as we came through down into turns 1 and turns 2, we would be able to get past Kurt Busch. And as we came through on lap 17, now 2 to go right behind Blaney, as the caution would end up flying out, and we would end up ending stage 1 early there, as I just came out of the pause menu, actually, and the caution had dropped like 3 or 4 seconds later, so that was awkward there. But either way, Ryan Blaney would end up winning the stage because of that, and we would get P2. So Blaney picks up a playoff point. We took 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, and we'll get ready to restart P2 to start the second stage here in Las Vegas. On the front row, side by side with Ryan Blaney as the green flag is out, and we are on the way. Keselowski and Harvick on the second row behind us now as we go up all the way towards the wall here on this restart, just about clearing Blaney as we do get clear of the 12 now as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2. I do give him his lane as he will now stick his nose back up my inside. We make a little bit of contact with the 12 of Blaney as we come out of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway as Blaney gets clear of me as we head down towards turns 3 and turns 4. And as we go through turns 3 and turns 4, Harvick sticks his nose up my inside as we come through the center of the corner, trying that middle lane now as we come out of turn 4. Blaney continuing to lead. Keselowski second as we come through, crossing the line side by side with the 18 of Kyle Busch as we sit P4. Ryan Newman having a good run today as he's on our inside as we come through turns 1 and turns 2. Back to the top, looking to the outside of Keselowski as we come out of turn 2. 3 wide with Newman. We have to get out of the throttle there just to make sure I don't get into the wall, so we give up those positions there as we come through turns 3 and turns 4. Harvick once again sending it up my inside as we come through the center of the corner, and we would fall back now to P6 as we came out of turn 4, heading down the front straightaway through the tri-oval right behind Martin Truex Jr. as Kurt Busch makes a little bit of contact on my left rear, and we would continue battling with these 2 drivers, Truex and Kurt Busch, as we came through turns 3 and 4 on lap 3, making contact again with Kevin Harvick there as we came out of turn 4, so he would get clear, but we would be able to work our way back up to P6, battling for P5 as we came through on lap 7 of 19 in the second stage as I was passing Ryan Newman, who was on my outside, as we send Kurt Busch up the inside of Martin Truex Jr. I give him a big push now as Keselowski, he's trying to force it 3 wide on me as we come out of turn 2, down the back straightaway, clear of Keselowski and Newman as we look to the inside of the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4. Ryan Blaney at this point was continuing to lead this race, and as we came through on lap 8, trying to run these guys down as Kurt Busch is third, Kyle Busch second, Ryan Blaney leading the race as Keselowski's blowing up behind me, as that's going to end up bringing out a caution as we just look behind me and Keselowski starts blowing up, and that's going to take him out of this race, I would believe. But now you notice he stays out, and he's going to hold up everybody on this restart behind me as the green flag is out, and there you see it, Keselowski holding everybody up as we come through to cross the line to restart here in Las Vegas with 8 to go in the second stage. Trying to push Kyle Busch out to the lead as we come through turns 1 and turns 2. Ryan Blaney, though, will have the advantage on the bottom lane as we come out of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway. Certainly not a good restart for everybody behind us as Keselowski stayed out with a blown engine, as we're certainly the best runner in the Hendrick Motorsports group right now as we come through turns 3 and turns 4, hitting Kyle Busch in the back bumper there for a brief moment as we come out of turn 4. And battling side by side with the 42 of Kyle Larson as we come through the tri-oval now, hitting the lap 14, I believe, as we head down towards turns 1. Harvick and Ryan Newman behind as we continue to use the top lane here as we come through turns 1 and turns 2. Looking to the outside now of Kyle Busch as we would be able to get clear of him as we went down the back straightaways. He lost quite a bit of momentum as we head down side by side with Kyle Larson, actually on lap 13. In stage 2 is Kurt Busch, though. He looks up the inside of Ryan Blaney to take the lead here in Las Vegas as we come out of turn 4. Myself and Kyle Larson getting into this battle as well as we cross the line, hitting 6 to go in the second stage. Kurt Busch and Blaney side by side for the lead as we come through turns 1 and turns 2. Moving up to that top lane as Blaney's certainly falling off now as we come out of turn 2. We're going to make it 3 wide up the middle with him and Kevin Harvick, and now we're going to look to the outside of Kyle Larson as we head down the back straightaway, heading into turn 3, clear of Ryan Blaney, but Larson would be able to stay ahead of me as we came through turns 3 and turns 4. But we would be able to get to his inside as we came through now with 2 to go in the second stage. Harvick had gone past me, he had gone past Kyle Larson, and he had run down Kurt Busch. Like I said, we got to the inside, obviously, now of the 42, approaching the final lap here in the second stage, trying to clear the 42 of Larson, but he's going to hang there on my right rear as we come through the tri-oval, crossing the stripe, hitting the white flag. Kurt Busch in command. He won last episode in Atlanta, and he wants to try and pick up another stage win, but Harvick's going to look to his inside as they go through turns 1 and turns 2 for the final time here in the stage, heading down the back straightaway side by side for the lead up ahead between Harvick and Kurt Busch. Harvick has the advantage with the bottom as they go through turn 3 and turn 4 behind us. Newman, Larson, and Kyle Busch all battle it out. As we come out of turn 4, Harvick has the edge as we head down through the tri-oval. Kevin Harvick will edge out Kurt Busch for the stage victory, and we will get P3 in stage 2. So a very solid effort for myself here in the second stage, so I was really confident with what we had going into this final stage. As Ross Chastain, the Watermelon Boy, somehow gets P10 in the stage and picks up a stage point here in Las Vegas, as we would lose 19 positions because we took 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel. So we fall back to P22, but we can definitely work our way back forwards. I'm confident now as the green flag is back out and the final stage is underway here in Las Vegas. Just 25 laps remain in this race, so not a lot of time, so we have to be certainly aggressive on this restart as we go through turns 1 and turns 2. Alex Bowman in the 88 car behind me as he battles on the outside of Clem Moyer as we get into the back of the 17, as there was a bit of a checkup there as we head down the back straightaway side by side with Chris Buescher in the 37 as we go through turns 3 and turns 4, jumping up to that top lane now because we know we can use this top lane to our advantage, really a really big advantage on these restarts, especially when you're in the midfield now as you come through the tri-oval on the outside of Joey Gase, crossing the line 3 wide with him and Paul Menard as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2, already into the top 16 as we come through the center of the corner. Menard edging me out at the moment as we come out of turn 2, though, easily getting ahead of him now as we head down the back straightaway, trying to get to the inside of Brendan Gaughan, 3 wide up the middle for a brief moment there as we make contact just briefly as we go through turns 3 and turns 4, now moving up to 14th, about to pass Jamie McMurray too to take the 13th position as we come through the tri-oval, quickly moving our way forwards, and we would continue to pass these cars as we hit forwards there in the back bumper, but we would get past this group of cars here and get up to P8 as we came to lap 52, now passing our teammate Denny Hamlin as we look to his inside as we go down the back straightaway heading into turn 3. We would be able to clear Denny Hamlin as we came through the center of the corner, and we would continue to hold on to the 7th position for the next handful of laps here, now coming to lap 53, a couple car lengths ahead of the 11 of Hamlin as we come through turn 3 and turn 4, trying to run down this group of cars ahead, and we will now get a caution, and that will certainly make it much easier to get to these cars up ahead, as Kevin Harvick currently leading this race, as he's going to have a late race restart to fend off everybody if he wants to win here in Las Vegas. Now is ready to go green late in Vegas. The green flag is out. Just 11 laps remain as we cross the line behind Kyle Busch and Newman. Newman is at a great race here in Vegas as we come through down towards turns 1. Almirola, Hamlin on the row behind me as we go through turns 1 and turns 2. Blaney now with the best restart as Harvick's easily clear for the lead as Kurt Busch is going to follow through to take that 2nd position as we head down the back straightaway on the back bumper of Kyle Busch. We're going to make it through the middle 3 wide as we head down towards turn 3 and turns 4. Larson goes way up the track and now loses some ground as we come through the center of the corner on the outside of the 18 of Kyle Busch as we head down the front straightaway. Busch is clear for a moment, but we get back to his outside through the tri-oval, crossing the line. 10 laps remain here in Las Vegas as we head down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Kurt Busch looking to the inside just about there of the 4 of Harvick, but he shuts the door on him as they go through the center of the corner. Now still on the outside now of Ryan Newman as we go down the back straightaway on the back bumper of Ryan Blaney, giving him a shot to the bumper as we go through turn 3 and turns 4. And as we come through the center of the corner, now looking to the outside again of the 18 and Newman, he's going to stick his nose up 3 wide, and that's going to crowd us up towards the wall there for a brief moment as we come through the tri-oval 3 wide with Busch and Ryan Newman as we're just about making contact. They're just about touching the wall as we go into turns 1 and turns 2. Not much room at all, and we're going to get into the wall there as we come through the center of the corner now as we exit turn 2. Kyle Larson's going to hit me in the door, and he slams me into the wall as we come down the back straightaway. Not what we needed to have happen, as I would get down in front of Hamlin, and we would be able to rally back up to P9, which is basically just 2 positions, as I was certainly not happy with Kyle Larson at this point, as I was just really trying to run him down, but we were coming to just 2 laps ago now at this point in the race, certainly looking like we're not going to have enough time to get to the 42 of Larson, as he just came into turn 2 and hit me in the door, and into the wall we went. That's not the first time this has happened here in Las Vegas, unfortunately for us, but we were still holding on to a top 10 position as we head down the back straightaway. Just a lap and a half remain at this point here in Vegas. Denny Hamlin about 4 to 5 tenths behind us there in the 10th position as we come through turns 3 and turns 4, heading down the front straightaway, down through the trial before the final time, or not for the final time yet, but the white flag comes in the air. Kyle Larson looking to the inside of Eric Almirola, which might give us a chance to get closer to him as we go through turns 1 and turns 2 for the final time. Heading out of the second corner, Larson clears Almirola as we head down the back straightaway, sitting P9, and it's looking like we're going to finish there as we head down through turns 3 now. Hamlin lurking behind, but he's not close enough as we come through the center of the corner, closing in on Almirola. Larson, he is pulling away, so we're not going to get to him as we come into turn 4. We close in on Almirola through the tri-oval, but it won't be enough as we come through to finish 9th in Las Vegas, which is actually still our best finish of the season, obviously, after finishing 10th in Atlanta and then finishing, I think, 38th in Daytona or something like that. But Ryan Newman has won in Las Vegas and now has locked himself into the playoffs, because we know he's not going to fall outside of the top 30 in points. Reed Sorensen, there's a good chance he does, but Ryan Newman has won a race in our career mode. I think that's the first time he's done that. Certainly not what I wanted to see, but because it's going to probably be more of a wasted playoff spot unless he has a really good season. You never know. Ryan Newman might come through and win the championship for all we know. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very, very appreciated. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. In the next one, we go to ISM Raceway, so that's usually a pretty tough one, but hopefully we can come out of there with a top 10 result, and maybe, who knows, the race could be crazy and we could have a shot to win. You never know what's going to happen in these races. But with this top 10 finishing in Vegas, we do move now into a playoff position as we actually move all the way from outside of the playoffs up into 9th on the grid as Kurt Busch leads away. So hopefully we can continue moving forwards here. As you see, Martin Truex Jr. is the last car in the playoffs at the moment. So that'll do it for this one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.